I wonder if those deer were playing. The one deer looked like kind of young, maybe an adolescent or something. Sagebrush is back, and it has paintbrushes. I'm out of breath because I'm on a steep trail that is not PCT grade. But today is town day. Oh, I'm so excited, ready for a 0 day. But the trail doesn't cross a road where I can hitch. I get to a trail junction and then I will take the blue alternate line out to a trailhead where I can hitch from there. But then I'm also not going to go into the town that's right there, which is Independence. I'm going to hitch to Independence and then hitch north up to a different town, Bishop. And this alternate trail is what we call bonus miles because they are not along the PCT. And this one gets bonus miles and a bonus pass. It goes over Kearsarge Pass, which is 11,800 feet or something. It's a proper pass to get back out to town and to food. I'm at the junction. PCT goes that way. I'm taking this trail. People are confused about which way Kearsarge passes because there's a trail that goes this way over Kearsarge, and then you can take the PCT and then a different trail also over Kearsarge Pass. Also, the bears are active. There's Bullfrog Lake down there. I have to get out of this valley, this bowl somehow, so I think Kearsarge Pass is somewhere in there. That one's got some cool rocks going on. I'm eating the food that the JMT hiker I met yesterday gave me. They were so nice and fun to talk to. And I was thinking about how it is a bummer that I'm so far behind the PCT thru-hiking community, but at least in the Sierra, there's still a whole lot of community out here. There's all of the JMTers, so it's been fun to talk to them and meet them, and I can sometimes see them multiple times. And there's still PCT section hikers who I see it multiple times as well, and so that's still been really good. It's really small, might even be a little baby. What are you eating a piece of poop? Please no. What are you eating? Oh no! It's a good climb in the morning. On the other side of that pass is town food. Okay, here's Kearsarge Pass. That's where I came from. Here's the summit. And then, oh, you're good. You're so good. And then here's the next valley. You can see the trail I'll be taking. Oh, even some people on the trail. It's another kind of long, windy road, so I'm hoping I can get a hitch into town quickly. But it always depends on what time people are actually going into town. Apparently everyone came up here for the sunrise and then is already heading back down. So I may be missing the window for best hitching. This extra section that I'm on is beautiful. It also is a hard climb. And I was thinking about expectations and how when you set your expectations for something, sometimes you don't realize you've kind of written them in stone, and then after that, anything that's even a little bit harder, a little bit more, seems just abominably hard, way more than it should be. So for example, when I did the PCT last time, you think, oh, I have 2,652 miles. I'm going to do Mount Whitney, I'm going to do Forester Pass, and then you calculate everything for your miles based off that. You're like, how many miles do I have to do per day in order to get through the Sierras in the weather window before October 8th? And you're doing all your little math, and you're like, I can do it, it's hard, but I can do it. So then when all of a sudden you have 16 extra miles, and there's a pass that you didn't know about, and then you have to factor in Mount Whitney, it's like they feel really hard. It feels like, oh my gosh, it's this big thing. But this time, I knew from the beginning that I was going to go out over Kearsarge Pass, and I'd have these extra miles, and there'd be a lot of places where I'd be doing way more than I thought I would. And so, since it was already factored in, this doesn't feel hard at all. This is kind of break number 2. I took sort of a break up at Kearsarge Pass, but not really. And now I'm on the descent, and I found actually a spot where I have cell service, so I can call the hostel and see if they have room for me tonight. This is fun. I've been seeing a ton of people on this trail. It's really popular. There's people going on the JMT, there's people out for day hikes, and they all smell really clean. A group of just passed me. I can still smell their soap. Okay, here's the first water source that I've come on since coming down Kearsarge Pass, which means it'll be the last when I go back up this way, and I will want to fill up there. I still remember last time I hiked this, and I was coming over Kearsarge Pass, and on the blue lines for our app, there's no information about where the water is. And so I asked some day hikers coming the other direction if they had passed any water sources, which of course means like a stream or a creek or whatever. And then he looked at me and his face got really serious, and he said, "There's no water faucets on trail. The last one was at the campground." Sir, did you cross any creeks? Was there any water running over the trail? He had no idea. Anyway, I kept walking and I found like 3 sources of water that was great. Here's Gilbert Lake. Getting close. I'm heading to Onion Valley Trailhead. I think that's the road out to town. Oh, and there's town, Independence. Looks like some weather might be coming in. But I don't care, because tonight I will be happily ensconced in an 8-bed shared dorm in Bishop. I booked it, so I do have a reservation, so I don't have to worry about whether there's a spot for me. It is break number 3. This is a really hard break to take because I am only 1.5 miles away from the trailhead, and my hitching prospects get smaller by the minute, but I know I need the break, and so I'm taking it. Also, my lips are so chapped, and then the dirt gets in the chapped part. I really need a shower. Town day. Okay, and there's Onion Valley Trailhead. It's so pretty over here. And then coming down to the valley. I made it to Independence. I got a nice hitch from some really lovely people, and now I'm gonna see if I can get to Bishop. There's a bus, maybe, or I may hitch. Here's the town of Independence. They have a cool courthouse, and I have a good spot to hitch because I can jump in the shade whenever I need. So, wild coincidence. About 4 days ago, when I was getting a ride out from Cottonwood Pass and Horseshoe Meadows, and it's a really hard hitch with this long windy road. I ended up getting a ride from a guy who's super cool. He is resupplying his wife while she does the JMT, and he's got a son who studies geology in New York, and we had just a lovely chat on the ride back into Lone Pine. Anyways, 4 days later, later, I'm now trying to hitch. I made it to Independence and I was trying to hitch to Bishop, and I'd only had my thumb out for 5 minutes and a car pulls up and it's the same guy! The same guy that I got a ride with, and we had like a 40-minute car ride and we talked and talked and talked and it was so much fun. And then he just happened to be passing by at the exact right time, picked me up, and then we went to Bishop together. So obviously that was super fun, and we had a more good conversation, and then we went to the Schatz Bakery, which is really famous around here. They have great pastries and sandwiches and things like that, and I got the peach pull-away bread, which was so good. But I still can't get over how much of a crazy coincidence that was. It was so fun. Anyways, my surprises were not done for the day. When I got to the hostel where I was staying, I met hikers that I hadn't seen in 2 months. So some of my friends that I haven't seen in such a long time, and they were also at the hostel, and it works like that because the Sierras go up like this, and then to the east is Highway 395, which goes right along it, and so you can be like where I was at, Kearsarge Pass. The wind is picking up, making it kind of hard to hear probably. Anyways, so I got out at Kearsarge Pass, which comes out of Independence, and then drove 40 miles north to get to Bishop. They were even, I don't know, maybe they're like 130 trail miles ahead of me, and got out at Mammoth and hitched and drove back south. And so we all end up at Bishop because it has this really great hostel that everyone really loves, and it's affordable, and so everyone just comes back to it from wherever they are on the trail. And I thought my friends were really far ahead of me, but they've been bopping around the Sierras, going to Yosemite, going to the hot springs, going to 4th of July celebrations. And so they're actually not that many trail miles ahead of me. So it was just, yeah, it was so much fun. So after being fairly isolated for a few days, I ended up having such a social day and getting to catch up with all of my friends, and I got to meet new hiker friends. There was probably a group of like 8 or 10 hikers at the hostel, and we all just had a great time chatting and chilling, and yeah, it was a really good night. Yeah, I like it too. And of course, the first town chores are get food, but then also shower and laundry, and I'm now, the hostel I'm in has loaner clothes, so there's my outfit, super comfortable. It's nice to be out of my hiking clothes for once. And now I get to just sleep a little bit and take a 0 day.